Yes, what's going on, people? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? This is Don from Kenya Goodness TV, and we're back here with another video. It's been a minute. We have my Abdul, my man in the middle. Abdul, man, unasemaje, bro? What's going on?
Yo, people, Abdul Razak concept in the building. Let's go, bro. I'm good, man.
And then you have the guy who decided, man, to do this show in the office today, man. Big up yourself, Paps, man. Unasemaje, bro, man. How is it going, man? Football fun, even in the office, huh?
The going is good, man. Mnaona tu results. We are on top of the tables in plural.
Listen,
Hadi
man,
show muliacha kufanya.
No. We are actually going to do a show tomorrow. I think we've been quite preoccupied. The guy who I feel like Mazami Kimbia from the show is Derek. But he has been quiet for a minute. So I don't know. But I think tomorrow, Badu, you can do a show. Basically, just a weekend recap. Because you all know we're basically in the international break. And I mean, as content creators, we have to keep content. And actually, Papa, man, we also want to get you to YouTube, man. You also need to set up a YouTube channel so that, we throw in support there, man. So get a YouTube channel, bana. Sawa.
Okay, yeah.
Anyways, so basically today I'm just keeping it short. The topic today is David fucking Roots. And I want to play a video here. Papa being a Liverpool fan, they go on the far right basically. I'm sure you have a lot to say about what this guy the shit this guy was actually saying. So let me just play this video, then we can react to it. So just give me a second. Let me just get this video on.
Papa, do not be angry. Do not be angry.
All right, so
What did you
actually have
Liverpool game?
Listen to this. Listen to this.
What did you think of the Liverpool game earlier when you were fourth official?
Liverpool was shit.
What do you think of Jurgen Klopp?
Cunt, absolutely.
What would you say? Why would you say that Jurgen Klopp was a cunt?
Aside from having a right pop at me when I ref them against Burnley in lockdown, then he accused me of lying, and then just had a right fucking pop at me, and I've got no interest in speaking to someone who's fucking arrogant. So I do my best not to speak to him. Milner's all right. I get on with so
James Milner. You get someone James Milner.
you can see me there with mask on.
Yeah. Mask on, obviously.
Yeah. COVID got to be done. Social distancing, right? We're 2 meters apart.
We have to social distance.
Yeah. So, but oh my god, it's German. Can't fuck me.
Long story short, Jurgen Klopp's a cunt. Liverpool are all fucking bellends, and we hate Scousers.
So that's the first bit. Yeah, listen to the second bit.
We can't ruin a bloke's career. We're not that.
Yeah. That fucking last video can't go anywhere. Seriously.
He's a Premier League referee. Let's not fucking ruin his career. Like, let's
fired. He's probably fired.
We can't ruin a bloke's career. But we're not that bad. Also, he's a fucking legend.
So yeah.
So
okay.
Not ruin his career.
Right.
So let's just give a bit of context to this. Number one, so before I actually get your thoughts in this, Papa being the Liverpool fan, I'm sure Buddy you have a lot to say about this. But first of all, but this is a private conversation that any guy but would have this conversation. Those conversations clearly you can see him saying by the end of the video that he doesn't want this video to go anywhere. It was more like a private conversation, but I'm sure everybody has. Even us, but they usually talk about, especially if things don't go your way. You say things, but of course you don't say them, before the camera. I'm sure even these coaches, Arteta, Klopp, Slot, I'm sure they cast these referees and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't get outside there. But this has come out, and I mean, it's the interesting thing about this digital world right now is initially the conversations about him basically writing off everything and saying that it was more like an AI generated video. But then later on, he changed the whole story. It was like, yes, he remembered the events, but he doesn't recall saying, these kind of things. Clearly, you can see the guy is drunk. He's basically in his private space, doing whatever he wants. But this just exposes these guys. And first of all, let me just actually bring Papa on this, man. What do you make of this, man? Because are you at a place whereby like these are some of the guys who actually cost you the Premier League over the years?
Yeah. So
Clearly,
my take on this
go ahead.
with the jersey that I've seen Milner wearing, that is probably the 2020, that period of Corona. I think is the season we either won the league or the season that followed, the one that we lost by some points. And to his defense, that was quite a while ago. It was, and maybe he was drunk. He was saying this maybe out of resentment and etc. But the question will be: they say they have suspended him pending investigations. So the question will be: did this judgment of his, this opinion of himself on Liverpool, did it affect his independence when officiating over matches against Liverpool? So that needs to be investigated on to the like minute level. Like were there errors in the matches that we played that he was officiating, either as the first referee or the fourth official or the linesman, whichever. And then another question will be, you see, this whatever actions will be taken by the Premier League match officiating, that PGMOL or something. The question is, will it have retrospective effect? Because they usually say, "Oh, we are sorry, we cost you the league. Apologies. Send
And it's done.
1,000." You see, so what are the repercussions for such incidents, and how will they handle in future? But I think to some degree, whatever he's saying is just an opinion which anyone has. Even with colleagues, I might have cast a colleague out of work, but does it really affect the way I work with them? Does it affect my his officiating, his independence as a referee in matches that Liverpool are playing, whichever team? If he supports Arsenal, Chelsea, if he supports Crystal Palace, whichever. He hates Scousers. But Liverpool doesn't, most of the players aren't even Scousers, you see? Klopp isn't a Scouser. So my thinking is, and unfortunately, his friend has cost him his job. So we'll see about it, but nothing much can be done. There will be no retrospective action. So from now on, how will they handle? Like referees who are from North London are officiating matches of teams in South London. How does that affect their independence? Like someone who is a Scouser from Everton, someone who is someone from Northwest England, that is Manchester, Liverpool. They are from Manchester. They are officiating a match that is Liverpool versus Southampton. There is some conflict of interest there. How will they be able to mitigate this in future? That will be nice if we see some reports from Premier League and we see the actions that they will take.
Fact, bro. Fact.
100%. And I think we'll get to the solution later on. I think we've had these conversations, and clearly, by the at times you guys usually feel like, especially with the Arsenal fans, the time remember when Mikel Arteta, but they came out and call these guys a disgrace. Remember the disgrace incident? I mean, it's just clear. These referees, by the way, the guys who actually mess up the games. These are some of the, and it's with that kind of mentality. Obviously, he said it in his private moment, but you can basically just see if you have something against the coach, if you have something against the team, I mean, you'll be biased by the way refereeing the game. Yeah.
Even in future matches, forever, he will always be biased.
And you can give several, and I think Papa, maybe I really I don't watch as much Liverpool games as you do, but I'm sure the incidents whereby you can recall when these girls refereeing. I remember somewhere, but they probably maybe I look it up. The Odegaard incident when you were playing with you guys. I think
I saw it. He was the referee in the match, Banze. That handball, that Odegaard handball,
Yes, he was the referee in the match. The Doku incident when he kicked, which player was it? When he kicked, McAllister in the box, he didn't give a penalty, and so many incidents. So it's just that everything has been exposed. Whatever was hiding in the dark, unfortunately for him, has been exposed. And just goes to show you. The good thing is these things are coming out, and whatever the PGMOL, blah blah blah, whatever. I'm really interested to see how they're going to handle this. But anyway, before you go to the solutions, Abdul man, let me have your opinion on this. I'm sure Chelsea, you guys have also had incidents where you feel like you've been unfairly treated. Give me your thoughts on this, bro.
Yeah, initially when I saw the video, for me, initially, as Papa said, I think there was nothing wrong in what he said if it didn't affect the performance on the pitch. You know, you can work with someone and think them as the word he used. You can say this guy is a loser, this guy, you know, imtiaji, but hopefully it doesn't affect. So they need to investigate the games he's refed. As you guys say, maybe the Odegaard, the you know, the Doku, maybe those maybe what he thinks it affects the decision on the pitch, which is it should be banned. But for me as a Chelsea fan, there's one referee every Chelsea fan knows, hates Chelsea. And the name is bold, we all know him. His name is Anthony Flipping Taylor. And this brother, any game he refs against Chelsea, he always favors the opposition. And he's given the game against Arsenal, the two FA Cups, the one against Arsenal, the one against Leicester, handball. He never. Do you guys ever see Anthony Taylor going to the VAR?
Against Chelsea, you say?
Any game, just any game. Do you guys ever see this guy go to the even? I don't see him go to VAR. I saw I saw another video, Mike Ding saying that I did not send Anthony Taylor. It was Chelsea versus Spurs. He said I did not send Michael Oliver. I did not say Anthony Taylor to VAR because I wanted to protect him. Protect him from what? From the bad decision he made. What are we doing here? If you want to protect him, you send him to the VAR to make the correct decision, not to let him, you know, after the game be criticized. But these guys can do the correct. It's only the VAR is only a problem, and the refereeing is only a problem in the Premier League. No other league do we see such BS, man.
Yeah. I mean, big up Mikel Arteta, but the Mikel Arteta was actually bold to call these guys out, and I think actually he almost got punished for it. Of course, being smart and just trying to find a way of navigating through the whole thing. But big up Mikel Arteta, but then for calling these guys. These guys need to be called out, man. These guys actually, I can tell you, I look back even. I mean, Papa, right now, you look back and you're like, the decisions this guy made probably cost the Premier League. I look back and the decisions these referees made probably cost the Premier League last season, and so on and so forth. You know, I'm not going to play a victim here, but most teams actually caught up in that predicament. The only team that actually find by these referees to be going easy on is Man City, surprisingly. So I don't know if these guys buy referees. I don't know if they're lucky, but I mean, I've never really seen, by the way, Man City, you know, having a controversial decision being made against them and whatnot. Surprisingly,
I think the referee decision affects everyone, in my opinion, even us, even Arsenal, even Liverpool. Maybe it has, maybe if you had a Man City fan, they would say there is some games it favored them. I think the problem is the referees, it's not the teams.
Yeah. And they just cause, I mean, Papa, you actually called this earlier on. It's basically more of like a conflict of interest. I think the solution to this probably is maybe get foreign referees, because listen, I mean, if you're a referee, you're basically English, you are born in English, raised, bred, blah blah blah. You've grown up supporting, and of course, I'm sure they also declare by that you're supporting a certain team, blah blah blah. Yeah, but I mean, you can see there's clearly a conflict of interest. It's just like where I used to work previously, corporations, you know, these multinational corporations. You find that the head of departments, what they usually do, they try and interchange people. So you'll find like being a multinational, Kenyans in being in Kenya, they're not basically allowed to head departments. So these Kenyans are taken to probably maybe South Africa to be team leads in those departments, and then South Africans are brought here to be team leads by them. Because you see, when you have a local, I mean, this is a local man. He knows all the, you know, where to cut deals. I mean, if you want to get a supplier on board, he knows where to outsource these things. So, but you see, if you get a foreigner to lead a department, I mean, this guy's a foreigner. He doesn't know exactly what goes on in the
They're there
country.
to
He
just
doesn't.
work and live. Facts, yeah.
Yeah.
I hear.
His main work basically is to just work.
Yeah.
All these deals and whatnot, being bribed. They're not really interested in that. And I think, you
Yeah.
know, basing this context, I think that's what the Premier League needs to do. Because this English referees, honestly, we cannot be saying this is the best Premier League in the world. And I mean, there's
The worst referee decisions, yeah.
what's refereeing? What are we doing here? Yeah. So that is my solution. That is actually what I think is needs to be done. I don't know what you guys think. Perhaps Abdul.
I think, bro, you're spot on. Just bring forward referees and try it out. Because even in the Euros, bro, we saw every time in the Euros, in the World Cup, the referees are always fair. In other leagues, you know, but it's always the Premier League where we see such crap decision making, which is mad.
Yeah. No, 100%, 100%. They don't have affiliation. You know, like you see, if you get a local to, it's just like there's no difference, but between the English Premier League referees and the Kenya Premier League referees. I mean, what's the difference? These guys have grown up in this country. They have affiliations to some of these players. You might even find that probably maybe a keeper's I'm a player is probably maybe an in-law or a relative.
Yeah.
So what are we doing here? So it's just huge conflict of interest. I think it needs to be sorted. But anyway, I think that is it.
The English referees are a bit complacent because they are assured that no foreigner will come to get their jobs. So when you get a place where locals are sure of job opportunities and there's literally no competition from outside, the products and the output usually become a bit in a quality kidogo inashuka because they're assured that
They're very comfortable.
you can do. There are no referees outside. Like the Premier League does not outsource referees, so they become complacent on their performance. Like the VAR. Remember the Diaz goal versus Tottenham last season?
Yeah.
You could hear them saying goal, no goal, goal. Please check again. Goal, goal, no goal. I'm like, what is the decision? What is the decision? Just say the decision. And you see, those microphones, a lot of people are hearing them. I think the commentators are also hearing them. Like, I'm not sure, but a lot of parties are actually hearing.
Yeah.
Why won't they say, please stop? What is the decision? You see, so they just let it play. You see, so to some degree, there needs to be some uniformity.
Yeah, and they can do it the right way. I'll give you an example. For example, I'll give you just an example. They can do this the right way. Last season, the Chelsea versus Tottenham game away. You know, the Romero red card. If you can find the clip online. The VR, they were communicating very well. You know, they said Jackson was offside, so I said the goal was cancelled. But they said we need to check for the penalty, and they gave the penalty. So the communication was clear. The decision, yes, took longer, but that's what you want. You can take the long decision, but give the correct decision as well. Not just, ignore everything.
Yeah.
In
simple terms, in simple terms, just be fair. I mean, if you're fair, but even the opponents, but they'll just see that, this is just fair, but it's a fair decision. If you're to be red carded, and it's a fair red card, nobody's going to be happy about the decision, but it's a fair decision. You're like, this guy, that was a bad tackle, he deserves a red card.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, if you're undecided, if you're like, what's going on?
Just consult, reach to a final decision, and just make the decision.
Yeah.
And I think they need also to adapt to the new technologies. The new technologies that we are seeing around Europe. It's a bit sad that the Premier League doesn't have
the automated offside rule.
You remember like 2 weeks ago the El Clasico?
The
El Clasico was beautiful. It was a nice match to watch because everything was just fair. When a player is offside, they let them play, let them score. Then let's just see the 3D thing. The 3D thing is just offside. Dirasa.
You saw, Papa, it was to come to the Premier League, but they said next season. Why? Why next season? And we are seeing you guys cannot even measure a line. These guys place, I don't know the rulers they place, or they place the remote to measure. We don't know how they measure the route.
Honestly, I mean, even the World
But
Cup,
they said,
officiating in World Cup, the World Cup that just ended, I think 2 years ago, that
yeah,
officiating was so good, so good. Everybody can see because we're all stakeholders. Fans are stakeholders, coaches are stakeholders, everybody is a stakeholder in this. So, like, you basically need to show us exactly what is going on, so that we have a clear understanding that you made the right decision. But anyway, guys, it is what it is. The good thing is this conversation by the guys are having it. I'm looking forward to what PGMOL by this is actually going to do, because this is actually massive pressure on them. Massive pressure on them. So let's
I
say
think
it goes.
maybe they need to investigate, as we said, the decisions on the pitch. With what he said, I think there's nothing wrong, in my opinion. Just investigate the decision. If you find the decision, he did bad decisions against Liverpool, then ban him. But if
Yeah.
it's not bad decision against Liverpool, then nothing wrong with what he said.
Anyway, man, let's say it goes, man. Let's say it goes. Yeah. So, guys, I think, man, I think I'd want to wrap it up here. Pops, man, you need to go home, leave the office. Guys, I'll be seeing you on the next one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Get you on the
All right.
PPD.
Cheers. All right.